inquest has heard the Thunder River Rapids ride broke down at least 5 times over several days in the lead-up to the Dreamworld tragedy. The engineer, who was second in charge, today conceded it shouldn't have been running the day 4 people were killed.
The senior engineer, who was supposed to know all the nuts and bolts of Dreamworld, dropped a bombshell in the last hours of the inquiry. Peter Gardner set the procedures for when rides should be shut down due to equipment failures.
How many times must something break down before somebody says, enough is enough?
Twice.
There were breakdowns on the River Rapids ride on the 19th, 22nd, 23rd and twice on the 25th. That ride should not have been in service, should it?
No.
Dreamworld electrician Quentin Dennis, along with other maintenance staff, said they'd reported problems with the ride several times. Mr Gardner told the inquest he knew nothing about it.
Someone's telling lies here, aren't they?
His evidence now questions whether he obeyed his own rules.
We cannot, at this point, reach any conclusions because that can only be done at the end of all of the evidence.
The evidence was difficult for the victims' families to hear, but it was the first time anyone at Dreamworld acknowledged there was a problem.
We have a lot of facts that now have to be processed and sorted and see how it fits within the balance of the evidence.
After 2 weeks of hearings, the inquiry has already uncovered operational and safety deficiencies, along with inadequate management and bungling. Lawyers are now looking forward to the opportunity of questioning the park's CEO, Craig Davidson.
No more and no less than having anybody else on the stand who has something to say about this.
But that will have to wait until the hearings resume in October. Darren Curtis, NBN News.
Overseas now, and 5 people are dead after a small charter plane crashed and burst into flames near a construction site in India. Both pilots were killed, along with 2 crew and a labourer on the ground. There are reports the aircraft hadn't been flown for 6 years and didn't have a certificate of airworthiness. A couple of small-time criminals caused big dramas at a convenience store in Canada. It all began when the young woman's partner tried to use a stolen credit card to buy a can of soft drink. The suspicious owners called police, and in the subsequent struggle, 29-year-old Brittany Berg decided to hide in a ceiling vent with disastrous results. The young woman picked herself up from the coffee aisle and was promptly arrested by police.
Woolworths has altered its plastic bag ban, bowing to customer pressure by offering free reusable bags for the next 10 days. But marketing experts say the confusion caused by the changes is a PR nightmare for the supermarket chain.
A historic ban on plastic bags that hasn't gone to plan.
They've misread what the backlash might actually be. They've spent months trying to educate consumers, but probably needed a little bit more time and a little bit more effort.
Just over a week ago, Woolworths got rid of single-use plastic bags, with 50 million taken out of circulation.
I think it's a good move forward for the environment.
Now it's been forced on us. I think that's probably a good thing.
The supermarket giant charging customers 15 cents for a reusable bag and 99 cents for a foldable bag.
For some people, it might be a bit difficult to pay the 15 cents added onto their grocery shopping bill.
With confusion and complaints coming in fast, the supermarket then announced the reusable bags would be free for the next 10 days, aiming to help customers get through the transition to a more sustainable and greener way of shopping. The price backflip drawing even more criticism.
They're too worried about what the reasonably small group of vocal consumers are actually voicing to them. They should have stuck it out.
As Woolworths tries desperately to regain control of the situation, the union representing retail workers says the constant customer backlash is taking its toll on those on the front line.
Some customers have been verbally abusive. Our members are doing their best. Take it up with the company.
After watching the drama unfold, Coles is still going ahead with its bag ban on Sunday, but will have all checkouts fully manned.
They're obviously anticipating some angst, so they're trying to meet that by perhaps throwing more bodies at the problem, and it'll probably go a lot more smoothly for them as a result.
Woolworths shares fell 5 cents on the stock exchange today. The Westpac was the only bank out of the Big Four to gain ground. It closed 10 cents higher. In the resources sector, both Rio Tinto and rival BHP Billiton were up. The market itself closed lower. To commodities, and the price of gold is higher while oil is trading lower. And one Australian dollar is buying close to 74 US cents and 81.71 yen.
Friday was moving day for the tallest trio at Sydney's Taronga Zoo, and it was quite the task. The giraffes were shifted into temporary accommodation as their enclosure gets a multi-million-dollar makeover.
When you tip the scales at a ton, moving house is a tall order. Borrowing a mate's ute won't do the trick, but 2 cranes will. The new giraffe digs are only a few hundred metres down the road. This will be home for the next year and a half, while their enclosure gets a $50 million reno.
They're going to have a bigger and better home.
With Sydney dropping to a frosty 6 degrees this morning, it took a bit of coaxing to get going. They were out, they were in, then they were off.
They have just transitioned so well. It is a credit to the zoo, to Jimmy, the zookeeper.
Keeper spent months preparing them for the big move.